All right, never a dull moment, and never, ever, 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 ever a dull moment. It is my honor and my privilege and my pleasure to introduce our first speaker as we get back from intermission. His name is Matt Toles, and he is an Amazon Catalyst Fellow, so we get to see some of the great work that the Amazon Catalyst program has funded through his work, and he is the founder and CEO of Slightly Robot. Matthew graduated this spring from the University of Washington with a BS in Material Science and Engineering. He is a part of the very first class of prestigious Amazon Fellows. So let's give him a very, very warm Pecha Kucha welcome.
Can I hold it? Can I hold it and watch? Stay by this one? Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Matt Toles. I run Slightly Robot, which is a company to build hand tracking bracelets that give real-time feedback to people with compulsive behaviors like compulsive hair pulling or skin picking. We were funded recently by these nice folks here who have been putting on this program. But until very recently, we had little to no, well, basically no investment, none of the right skills, and 1.5 college degrees between us and an average age of 22. So it's been like scrappy and difficult, but fortunately we've learned a lot along the way. This talk is going to be about how to run or start an ambitious project with none of the right resources, or maybe all of the right resources, depending on how you look at it. If you were like us when we started, you would be a broke college student who doesn't know what they're doing. And of the four resources that you could have to run any major project, money, visibility, skills, and inspiration, you probably only have the last one, which hopefully is enough. So with your inspiration, you're going to first want to inspire a co-founder, because then you have immediately doubled your skills. But even for our project, which is, in my opinion, relatively small as far as the company goes, we still are grossly unprepared. To build those things, well, our bracelets, you need some combination of software engineering, iOS development, Android development, metalworking, material science, abnormal psychology, public speaking, business, and women's fashion design, which is kind of a skill set, so you better be willing to learn along the way. Start on Wikipedia, read textbooks cover to cover, get up to Google Scholar and reading all of the latest research, and at some point you should be able to hold a conversation with a master's student in your field and not embarrass yourself. So at that point, once you kind of know what you're talking about, you're going to want to transition to resource number 3, visibility. And what I mean by visibility is not running some sort of viral marketing campaign on Facebook, but to look inwards, to address the terrain and see where you're going, and who the power players are, and what the replacements for whatever you want to do are, and figure out where you're going. Start talking to users, because you suddenly know what you're doing, and see if you can solve one person's problem. Because if you can't solve one person's problem in a new way, you're not doing anything original, and things are going to be very hard for you in the future. Then you want to talk to the experts, and hopefully you've prepared enough and you have something original. And this is industry professionals or professors or whatever, whoever is the authorities on the subject, and see if you can get someone to pay attention to you and tell you what you're doing wrong. And probably what's going to happen at this point is they're going to ignore you. And you will be ignored to death. And there's 3 possible reasons they might be ignoring you. 1, you could have no inspiration, you're looking at it all wrong, and you should go back to the drawing board. 2, maybe you don't know what you're talking about, and every one of your emails is just poorly phrased and poorly written, and you're just embarrassing yourself. And the 3rd possibility is maybe they're just busy. And until someone tells you why, you have no idea which of these 3 it is. I sent emails to every single researcher on Tourette's research that we were looking at the time to build a Tourette's motor tic sensor. And every single person ignored me for dozens and dozens of emails, until the last person invited us to give a demonstration at Massachusetts General Hospital to a Harvard professor and her entire research staff, which was sudden. It was so sudden that we didn't actually have a device to demo at the time. So we had 1 month to build it, and we made that deadline, mostly because our entire minuscule budget was going into expedited shipping to get the parts on time. And we mailed that to me in Philadelphia, and we went up and demoed it. Now, at the time, we still didn't have any funding, we still didn't really know what we were doing, and we were living on a shoestring budget. My brother was living in literally a closet in China, and I was living in a dangerous part of West Philadelphia known for gang violence and beating up Will Smith. So if you're not willing to make sacrifices, if you're not willing to just go out and do it and bear the pain, bear the burden of what you've gotten yourself into, because you're already pretty knee deep in whatever it is you want to do, you probably don't stand much of a chance against those who do. And we were delicious. There was a point that we were going to production on our first run for our bracelets, and I was building the devices, casting plastic in literally a piece of trash that I had pulled out of a dumpster because it was cheaper than the materials and it was faster than Amazon Prime. And I machined it into a mold, and we're still using it because it's what we still have. So at this point, build some really, really basic, janky, broken prototype and just get it out there and see if it works. And this is how, probably the best way to get people to not ignore you. So far you've got inspiration because you've gotten this far, you've got the skills because you've been working on it and figuring out what you don't know, and you've got some visibility and you know what's going on around you. And the last thing that maybe you think you're missing would be money. And this is probably the part that I think everyone here, because we have some very big projects in the room that most of the time almost everybody is short on money and everyone wants to know how to get it. And I think that this is going to be a really disappointing answer to that question because I don't really know. I've only raised funds once, so I don't actually have that much data. But if you're at this point, if you've already built a prototype and you know your users and you've proven that it's successful and you've proven that you can do it and that you're the right people to do it, and you've done it this far with no resources, you can probably walk into a fundraising meeting and blow the rest of the competition out of the water. At least you'll do much, much better than if you went for fundraising first and tried to build later. So at the end of the day, if there's something I want you to get out of this about our experience building a now ramen profitable company, that is to say that we can pay our rent and feed ourselves ramen and keep the company afloat indefinitely. If there's anything I want you to get out of this, it's that if you had to choose between funding and then building, or building and then funding, you will do much better, or at least you will fail much faster, if you start with the inspiration first, and the funding, the money will come later. And the last slide is coming up in a second. So that's the end of the talk.